Thank you very much. I hear that we come from all parts of Zambia. That shows so much love for us, and we are here to grow Africa. Who is not hearing me before we get the mic? I think I can shout enough. So let's wait for the mic. We see whether it's possible to get it. And as we get there, we can try to look at the main points. Here we have the two varieties of fruits. We have the main WAMBUGU apples. And the reason as to why we ship them without the soil is because it's illegal to ship one country soil to the other one. That's why we bring it from its original soil. It's not having much stress. So we are trying to reduce the stress of the plant and also making sure that it's not losing any excess water. We're also having the dragon fruit. How many know of these plants? So you know the dragon fruit. You're growing them here.
Some people are growing. Yes, some people. We know from
And I hope you're not confusing it with the cactus.
No.
Okay. Because they are the same family with the cactus. For the dragon fruit, we have 4 major varieties, which are classified in terms of colors. We have red, pink, white, and yellow. But here we have 2. This is the white. You can tell by the way this layer is a bit white. And then we have the pink. It's kind of going to be like this one is straight. But once you become a farmer, you will be in a position to differentiate them very well, even by tasting. To be an apple farmer, there are some factors that you should consider, and it is very important to put them in place. One of the factors is invest in a 1 hectare farm. You ought to have that 1 hectare farm, and also the soil in that particular soil has to be a good soil in terms of drainage. For the WAMBUGU apple, we see they do very well in any soil and any climatic condition. But again, your soil has to be well drained. Don't plant in a soggy soil or the soil that it's not able to release that water. So that's why you need a well-drained soil, because a soggy soil will make your plant to have root rot. If your the land is kind of floody, you have to consider how the best way to drain that water. So your soil has to be well drained. And also it's advisable to do some soil tests, so that you can get to know what nutrients are available or are not available in your soil. So it's good to do a soil test. You know whether the soil is having nitrogen, whether it's having calcium, those nutrients that are responsible for your plant to grow well. After that, you also need to consider security. Remember, these are fruits, they are apples, and everybody who passes by that place will be tempted to taste, isn't it? So it's good to check on the security of your farm. Personally, what we do after acquiring the land, we tend to fence to make sure that not everybody can just pass by your farm. You fence the land. We use some kind of plastic mesh. I don't know whether it is available here. The plastic mesh will help even the chicken from the neighborhood or rabbits. In our place, we have rabbits from the forest. They cannot just come to your farm and destroy whatever you are planting there. So those are the factor in terms of security. Make sure that your farm is secure and not just anybody who can get in. Because even if they don't steal during harvesting, they might steal even after you transplant. These plants are very expensive, one going for $10. So even one stealing a single plant is a big loss, because again, we are not just planting it for today. It's a long-term investment. For like WAMBUGU apple has a lifespan of 80 years. So someone stealing one plant is stealing 80 years of investment. 80. 80 years. So in terms of security, consider that. We also consider having a live fence. Live fence is planting like trees to act as windbreakers. I understand that some parts of Zambia are a bit windy. So you need a windbreaker because once they start flowering and the wind comes, they can make those flowers to abort. Are we together? So you need a windbreaker, and it is advisable you plant it while planting the fruits. That is still in the point of security. You also need animal manure. We are trying to do organic farming, and we do our best to make sure that we are not using the artificial fertilizers. That's why we apply animal manure. While planting or transplanting, you need like, sorry?
Sorry, I have a question there.
Mhm.
When you say animal manure, would you advise or specify maybe which one would be perfect, or it doesn't matter which one?
Okay, it doesn't matter which one, but now if you are using poultry or from the chicken, it's a bit acidic. So it has to be dry and well decomposed. Even the other ones from the cow and from the goats is also very good, but your manure has to be well decomposed. And how do you tell that manure is well decomposed? How do you tell that manure is well decomposed? Sorry? Fine. The texture. It looks almost like soil.
Yes.
Uh-huh. The color.
The color, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't be maybe like it's grayish or whitish. I think
The whitish one is not well decomposed.
no, not the whitish. Saying the whitish one means it's
Decomposing, yes.
That
Yeah. If you see your manure whitish, it's just communicating that it's in the process of decomposition. But you can tell by even putting your hand in that manure, it should not be burning you, because burning you means that it is still very hot. And the same way it's burning you, it's the same that it will burn your plants. Also, it has to be having good texture, as he has said, and also it should not be producing that smell. See, a kind of very sharp smell that it produces. That's a sign that it is not decomposing well. So that is how you get to tell. And how do you fasten the process of decomposition? How do you fasten the, yes? Yeah, yeah. You can also apply some wood ash. Do you have wood ash here? Yes, you can apply some wood ash to that particular heap so that you fasten that process of decomposition. And you need, we were still in the factors to consider, and that is the factor to do with animal manure. You also need skills on how to take care of this plant, and that's why we are here today. And the other factor is labor. Consider having enough labor to make the holes, enough labor during harvesting, and also while weeding. Because you need to be applying this animal manure after every 3 months. 20 kgs buckets of manure to each and every plant after every 3 months. Now we go to the point of land preparation. Animal manure. 20 kgs to plant apples. Yes. Each plant will need 20 kgs of animal manure while planting. Yes. After 3 months. Yes, another 20. During planting and after every 3 months. So during it. Okay. And while making your holes now, in land preparation, you need holes of 2 feet. That is 60 centimeters. Should not be less than that. 60 centimeter length, width, and depth. A cube of 60 centimeters. 60. And you separate the top 30 centimeters soil from the bottom. Put it aside and then the bottom one on the other side. Because well, now you're planting or while you're mixing your manure, we will mix with your top soil. We just don't mix with any soil. We mix with the top soil. Because the top soil is the one that is carrying all the fertility. Yeah.
Allow me to ask last question
Mm-hmm.
on the separating of the soil. You said we need to dig the hole about 6 centimeters.
Yes.
And how many centimeters do we need to dig? Separate the sides or then
the top 30 centimeters and then the bottom. Yes.
So 30, separate and 30.
Yes, for the that which was at the top, that is what we'll mix with our 20 kgs manure and then plant with it our plant. In case the mixture is not enough to cover the hole, that is when we'll just bring the other one which was at the bottom.
So the one on the bottom, we don't need to mix with manure.
No.
You just have to put some hole.
Yes. Yes. Because where this plant will be planted is at that mixture of animal manure with the topsoil. That is where the plant will be. Yes, that's why we are doing that. And again, the topsoil is the most fertile. Why do you think that the topsoil is the most fertile? Sorry? Yeah, the organic matters on the top layer of the soil. That's why that is the best to use. And your holes should be 1 meter from plant to plant and 3 meters between the lines. And if you are able to, we plant from north to south. They should be facing north to south. So the opposite of your sunrise is the best way to plant to face your rows, north to south.
1 meter plant to plant and then between rows.
3 meters. Where does our sun rise from? If now we are planting here. Where is our east? This side. So it moves from this side to the other one. So if we are planting in Tualumba, your rows should be facing this way. Yes, north to south. Because by the time the sun is rising, it will shine on the left of the plant, and by the time it's setting, on the right of the plant. So with that, the whole day the plant is able to get direct sunlight. But if you plant it the other way, it might end up getting only on one side. That's why you find that some plants are only fruiting on one side, because that is the side they are receiving the sunrise. So it's advisable to consider that while you're making your holes. Are we together on that point? North to south. Yes. That's how your holes should be facing. North to south. Yes. The holes are supposed to be facing the east. North to south, not the east. The opposite. The opposite. Yes. There was another question there. Are you okay? Okay. After now, you make your holes. Mm-hmm. You wanted to find out what is the pH of this compost soil. Compost soil or manure? Yeah. It should not be highly acidic. Not highly acidic. It should be moderate. Moderate, just moderate things. Yes. Now we will receive our plants. Mhm. Okay, the problem with mixing different animal manure is that you might end up overfeeding. You just use 10 kilos because now the fertility level will be high. If you're mixing, you have a cow, you have a goat, you have poultry, and you want to mix all those manure, just use 10 kilos while transplanting. But if you want to add after 3 months, you can use the 20 kilos. Have I answered you? So you can, but nothing. Sometimes it's a bit complicated because if you start potting them to the plastic bags and you give excess water, you might end up losing your plant. So if you decide to pot, make sure you have some knowledge on how to nurse a plant in